So the Bahamas Association of Athletic Associations is the governing body for the athletics in the Bahamas. Joining us tonight live in studio is its president, Drumeco Archer. Welcome to Access Now.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Excellent to have you. Of course, with Paris now in our rear view and Los Angeles, the Summer Olympics of 2028, sort of on the horizon, how are you as a president and how is the B3As taking track and field to the next level?
I think we're the hardest working federation on the island. But of course, I say that only as the punchline. We as a sporting movement, I think, is doing an amazing job of really trying to elevate the level of competition across all sporting discipline. But we must not only look at Paris, we should look 25 years ago. The year of inspiration, which was in 2000 when the Golden Girls won the Bahamas' first gold medal.
Absolutely.
And we celebrate that now. We also celebrate Pauline Davis winning the first individual gold medal in the year 2025. 25 years later, I think the track and field continues to grow. Paris was a stumbling block for us. I think it may have been the first year that we had not medaled, but of course we had a lot of mishaps. But I think that we have learned a lot over the past year, and we understand that not only do we win, but we sometimes have to go back and retool and rebuild. This push towards LA 2028, I think, will perhaps be the greatest fruit that we produce. It's been about maybe 13 years of developing really substantial athletes at the world-class level. And I'm looking forward to seeing a sprinting core returning, relays being dominant for the Bahamas, as well as individual events. And so with the support of both the Bahamas Olympic Committee as well as the Bahamas government, we've really put a lot of resources behind our athletes. The real challenge for us right now is really monitoring, regulating, and ensuring that we continue to provide the proper resources for our athletes.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask you about that. Athletes have a lot to do, full-time schedule, training, nutrition. How does the B3As continue to expand its sponsorship, expand the resources for athletes so they can thrive year-round?
Sponsorship has always been a major, major challenge for the organization. Unlike basketball, where you have a 10-man team, if you look at Carifta, for example, we take almost 70 athletes. Imagine that times that on a plane.
Yes.
Again, just preparing for events such as those can be substantial.
Yes.
And funding has always been a challenge for track and field. Our success has also been our curse. But what we've thought to do is not only target some of the larger corporations, but also now looking at crowdfunding, where individually we can appeal to people like yourself to make smaller donations to our organization. And so by an e-banking platform, we're going to be rolling out a very different funding model that I think will be the way for the future of sport in this country.
That sounds incredible. Is there a timeline perhaps for that?
We're working with a financial institution as we speak.
Okay.
And we'll be rolling that out hopefully before the end of the year.
Perfect. Sprinting, of course, has put us on the map. And of course, you mentioned that we're celebrating 25 years of our Golden Girls. But you also mentioned expanding what we can expect from our athletes. Can we expect some amazing performances in other multi-events coming up?
Yeah, I think we just returned from Tokyo.
Yes.
And Tokyo told us a lot about where we are. We didn't have a relay team, but I think individually we had more individual athletes competing for the country than ever before in its history. What that says to me is that we'll see more people in the throws events moving forward, more people long jumping and triple jumping. We have a cadre of hurdlers. We also have throwers as well as a multidiscipline athlete. Kendrick Thompson, placed 8th in the decathlon. I think it was one of the best performances we've ever done. And if you consider the trajectory that he's on, I'm expecting him to medal in LA, among other Bahamians who will definitely be on the podium. So that's my prediction. I think that if we are very intentional about our plans for LA, I think we can produce yet another a men's 4x4 relay team another women's 4x1 relay team at the very highest level. There is no reason why the Bahamas cannot regain its luster of 2012 when the Golden Knights won in London. I believe that we have the tools to do just that. Botswana showed a tremendous performance in Tokyo, beating the United States. I believe that we have the ability to beat a Botswana and the United States rival.
I think we have that ability too.
So it's really about being intentional
Yes.
and being very deliberate about how we use the resources that we have. I can name some of the best quarter milers potentially in the world, but you know, the 400 meters is less sexy than the 100 meters.
Yeah.
And so many of our elite athletes, they opt to run 100 meters as opposed to 400 meters. But if I were a betting man,
Yes.
I would say that put all of them in the 400 meters and you'll see the result there.
Very interesting. I want to ask you one more question before we sign off. We have an incredible lot of talent in the Bahamas, but how do we go about finding the next Charlie Miller, Yubo, the next Stephen Gardner, and are we looking to the Family Islands for some of this talent as well?
One of the legacies that we can talk about is our kids athletics program. We've had an aggressive push in trying to enroll more athletes to our program. I think it's perhaps the largest complement in our history. And you know, if you find 100 athletes competing, you may find 5 really that has real potential to be world class. And so the goal for us is always to continue growing our program through coaching education, through providing as many competitions as possible, not only here in New Providence, but throughout the Family Islands. Mm-hmm. And that's really yielded a lot of success for us. I think that World Athletics has indicated that the Bahamas per capita has had the most aggressive kids athletics program, the most successful one. And we're proud of that tradition of really attracting persons to our sport.
Drumeco Archer, thank you so much for joining us and all your insight. We certainly wish you all the best in athletics, and we hope you'll come back with some more celebratory news in the future.
We only want to win.
Absolutely.